It will take several years and far more than the $540 million the Liberal government has set aside to fix its troubled payroll system, Canada's spending watchdog said Tuesday. In his fall slate of 6 audits, Auditor General Michael Ferguson finds that successive governments have failed to address the Phoenix payroll mess, leaving thousands of employees overpaid, underpaid or not paid at all. Ferguson said the government is lowballing both the timeline and the true costs for a long-term, efficient solution, and called on the Treasury Board of Canada and Public Services and Procurement Canada to track and publicly report on the plan. In our view, it will take years to fix the pay system, and it will cost much more than the $540 million the government has so far identified that it will spend, Ferguson said in a release. It was one of 6 audits released as part of his fall report to Parliament. He will discuss his findings at a news conference at 11 a.m. etcbcnews.ca will carry it live. The Phoenix system already cost $310 million to create and implement, which means the overall cost to build and fix the program is edging toward $1 billion. Crystal Warner, National Executive Vice President of the Canada Employment and Immigration Union, said her own battles with overpayments and underpayments left her unbelievably frustrated and angry. She urged the Canadian public to be patient and understanding as federal government employees consider new steps to force the government to act. Public servants have held protests against the failed Phoenix payroll system. Julie Iriton/CBC, if we do start to do escalating tactics, just try and understand what it would mean for you and your family if you weren't getting a paycheck and you couldn't put food on the table, she told CBC News. Try and have empathy for us as we start looking at new options. Ahead of today's audit, Public Services Minister Carla Qualtrough sent a letter to federal public servants apologizing for the disastrous pay system last week, as the backlog of cases ballooned to 520,000. I am truly sorry that more than half of the public servants continue to experience some form of pay issue. Too many of you have been waiting too long for your pay, she said in the letter dated November 16. The backlog of cases includes 265,000 files in which public servants have been underpaid, overpaid or not paid at all, a situation the minister described as unacceptable in her letter. Auditors also uncovered dismal service standards at the Canada Revenue Agency's 9 call centres across the country, reporting that nearly a third of all callers were given incorrect information. And that's when they actually got through to an agent. Most had to try several times over the course of a week, as more than half the calls were blocked, meaning the caller either received a busy signal or an automated message to call back. The audit found traffic teams in each center were tasked with ensuring calls were picked up in 2 minutes. CRA said callers preferred to be blocked than remain hanging on the line, but did not provide any evidence to support the claim. Calls to CRA support centers were up 27% between 2012-2013 and 2016-2017, largely due to tax legislation changes including the Canada Child Benefit.